we find ourselves at the precipice of knowledge, specifically red and bloody. This is a talk on P-2. Room by room, I have literally noted everything down. This will play during the first half of my video on the final runs to actually P rank, P-2. Now, for the run-up to the first and most funniest room. The beginning run-up can be done two ways, either by B-hopping, which for those that are not in the know, that's sliding and jumping. Specifically, you can actually do it both at the same time while moving forward. Now, or, of course, rocket riding, which is rather easily done. Now, first room, Cerberus. The Cerberus enemy does 20 damage on its basketball throw, or normal throw. Mind you, most of the names I have to use are funny, because I was very angry. Its second attack, Stomp and Dash, with 2 attacks, 225. So 100 to 125 style point loss hit. Now, precisely the Weezer room has 4 of these guys, so as soon as you kill one, the other 3 will be hits. So likely the objective is to kill them as soon as possible. However, for a point range, suck, you need to do projectile ranges, a lot of them, after drilling one legs, which you can immediately do. Now, as soon as 2 of them are down, there will be ferryman. The ferryman is a quite fast enemy that does 25 on its wheelies, and then 35 on its fuck-ass explosion attack and lightning attack, which the lightning attack is specifically violence on, I believe. So, technically only 125 to 175 points lost. Now, after the initial Weezer run reaches 1, which is most likely either going to be a Cerberus or a Ferryman, more likely the Ferryman, then 2 Virtues will spawn outside. I call them the fuck out. They do 30 damage, all of to 150 points lost. Next room. Which, by the way, dealing with Virtues is either railgun shot or projectile boosting. Or, well, it could also be no on the sawed-on shotgun, but it's better to find the insta-kills unless you're getting a lot. Unless you're trying to go for a lot more points, because insta-kills sometimes don't do immediately. Now, Schizo Snipers. 4 Schisms. 25 damage in a weird-ass range of motion for the player. So 125 points for lost hit. 2 Sentries. 50 per shot, 40 on hit. So 200 to 250 points lost per hit. 1 Swords Machine. Swords Machine does 25 per slash, 40 on running slash, 30 on sword throw and sword spin, 25 on shotgun shots, so 125 to 200 points lost per hit. Then there is the Idle Mind Flare, which does 30 on projectile burst and smack, 35 on sweeping beam, and 50 on death explosion. Fucking killed. So 150 to 175 points lost per hit. The explosion was also at 250. So that is not important until the run after the little one next. So how you deal with this is most likely going to be by railgunning 2 of the schisms and 1 of the sentries. Then switching to cannonball and killing 6 injury. Injury, of course, whiplash. Now dealing with dumbass most likely will just be, saw blading, and if The cannonball comes back up, just go to the other sniper and absolutely diddle him to death. And that is seemingly it. The idled mind flayer is the only problem in the stage, but at this point you should be relatively fine. Fine if you already have lads killed. Small fucking hallway. 2 street cleaners. 20 damage on flamethrower, 50 damage on flame tank explosion. Actually your fault this time. Even though it is really hard, one of the best strategies is to actually explode the tank on their back. However, it is a small hallway, which throwing a coin directly up is going to suck. So, theoretically, what you do is you use, of course, rail. Of course. Drill the Cerberus, projectile boost him to death, and then try your hand at slate cleaning behind him, like dumbasses. You can also either cannonball or saw blade them. And the one is still there because she's idle. Now, literal bullshit. +1 fuckhead and 2 hunts. Who are these? Same, but now there's 2. I feel this is a personal fuck you from Hakita. Firstly, double swords machine and 1 sentry. Swords machine being the same. Yeah, because, yeah. Swords machine in the same. Sentry the same. Kill the dipshit duo, then sentry. Most likely sharpshooter. Well, slab sharpshooter. Shooter. Slab piercer. And, railgun, just in case you didn't use it. And then there is the gunner, which you could take. Well, the sentry, that you could just take out with a saw blade. Yeah. Now, second, 2 Maurices, 2 Virtues, AK, Coffin Ball Culture. Maurice, 25 damage per projectile, 1 up to 4 times between beams. 50 per explosive beam. When close to death, they only use this. So, from 125 to 250 points lost per hit. Now, the Maurices aren't that bad, however, sawed-on shotgun, red punch, rail cannon, normal rail cannon to insta-kill 1 of the virtues, and then try to sawed-on the second. Then, the third wave, which was just revealing the idols. You can then punch the idols, probably, 4 coin up in the air. Probably as soon as you get blown back by one of them, you then down slam, throw 4 coins up in the air, switch to piercer, slab piercer, and then fire. Most likely one will be taken down very low. Thus, meaning you could probably projectile boost it and the other one as well. Of course, ending this is not too bad, and then you just grab the blue skull and go back. Now, my 2 best friends, literally the only part of the gauntlet that doesn't make me rip my nutsack off. 2 Sisyphean Insurrections, 25 damage on the Stomp Shockwave, 30 damage on the Stomp Shockwave and Release Throw, 20 damage on the Release Shockwave, so 100 to 150 points lost per hit. Honestly, if you repeatedly fuck them over with projectile boosts and mostly dodge their attacks, they get a fuck ton of points. Now, one thing to note is that the SRS cannon, or the cannonball, can actually make them sit down, like when you parry these head back to them. Yeah, which I think is neat. Now, for the fun run, Double Dick 1. 2 Maurices, 2 Virtues, 1 Sentry, aka Run Breaker, because it was usually a run that ended a lot of my runs, aside from that being literal bullshit. So first strategy, Project Malicious Rail, or Rail Cannon, 1 Virtue, which will most likely send the other near the wall. SRS Cannon the second one, and then go to Sawed-On Shotgun, Red Punch, the first Maurice you're near, Then go and drop everything to absolutely murderize the Sentry. Then kill the second Maurice via the same kill the first. Double dig 2 Cerberus, 2 Sentries, and 1 Maurice. Not too bad, if not on low HP, or you going in or accidentally activating it before you want to, which can happen. Now, Whiplash, Shotgun, Flash, Sawed-on Shotgun, the Maurice, and then that will kill 2 Sentries via bouncing them up into the Death Ball. And then projectile boosting the 2 Cerberus. Now, the god-awful Sand Blast Master. Firstly, 4 basic throwing measures. Strays, 25 damage per projectile, rather easy to parry, but if you do, 125 points lost per hit. Honestly, they're kind of the fodder unless you let them hit you, then it's kind of bad. 1 Ferryman, 2 Swords Machines. Gas to use your saw blades. And then Railgun. Now, another interesting thing to note, Sawed-on is very helpful with these guys, but most likely you will need to use the other weapons. Now, the piece of shit, or Mr. Sandman himself. The Stalker applies the ability to no longer bleed to whatever it busts on. Yes, I just said that. And you best believe this motherfucker doesn't die because he's idled. Don't let him blow a load onto you, because that is then 20 hard damage. Or was it 40? I think it might have been 40. No, it was definitely less than that. Okay, now. Second wave, 1 idled Hideo's Mass. While not threatening on its own, keep your asshole tight and your focus locked in. 60 damage on the mortar, 30 damage on ground shockwave, 20 damage on the vertical shockwave, 40 damage on the slap, you won't be close enough, 25 damage on the harpoon, don't get poon, because then you will be slowed down, and the only way to get rid of it is via shotgun punching it, which would be very convenient. From 100 lost points to a ball quaking 300 lost points per hit. 4 entries at the corners of the fucking room. So, shotgun swap shot, up and fist, charge back with your balls are made of iron, drill punch, not the last one, cannonball punch, split shot coin shots, if positioned right, or, like a smart person, you try to get 2 of them lined up with a charged hard slap piercer, then immediately follow up with rail cannon or charged sharpshooter, or slap sharpshooter. Sorry. Third wave, idle for the hideous mass is unprotected, but I'd rather suggest you kill the 3 virtues that spawn at the top of the fucking room. Hooray! Anyway, so blue rail cannon first, and second if you get the aim right, sawed-on punch to remember a projectile boost the second, bust the idle. So essentially the important thing is to probably get 2 to all 3 of them down before you get rid of the idle. But after getting rid of the idle, immediately put a saw trap down onto the hideous mass, and then kill the final virtue, and there will be 3 Cerberus that spawn around the hideous mass. Already, if you're going toward the virtues, they won't be threatening until you actually have to deal with them, which by this point, they're not really that threatening. But then, after killing all of those guys, there ends up being the fatal finale, when you reveal the idol for the Stalker. Then, you punch that idol, you get sent back, you throw a coin up in the air, and then you do what the forefathers always wanted to do, and you shoot that coin, and nuke his ass from orbit. Well, not well, it's not really eating, but it's just really fucking cool. Eats bugs. Now, for the actual finale, which, important part to note, activating both of the technical doors is rough. Now, Fresh Penanus and the Sisyphus Prime, or the Mega Asshole and the Rock Roller. Flesh Panopticon, fairly straightforward, just don't get hit. Of course you can begin the fight by shooting a nail into him, throwing as many saws from the blue saw as possible, then throwing one fire saw. So then immediately rail coining and SRS cannoning him. After that, projectile boost, hook point onto the eyes to get away from the mortars, or just dodge the hop across the room. But now to explain the actual damage numbers: 60 damage on the mortar, 30 on divine beams, 10 on black hole, and 99 hard damage override. So don't let that even tickle you. 20 and 50 for the mini faces on violent and brutal. So 50 to 300 points lost per attack, so don't get hit. Do not stare at the eyes for too long. Actually, in general, fighting the thing, the eyes actually are what provide hard damage, which I'll call the yellow bar. Now, the man himself, Sisyphus Prime. Saws, slab coining, rail coining, shotgun up close for parrying, sawed on the heel, stay on the ground until ground slam, parry his fuck-ass bomb move, especially punch him in the balls when the yellow flash appears. For this dog shit, just to get his bright yellow ass. Now, on his attacks, 30 damage on You Can't Escape, 25 damage on Shockwave, 30 damage on Be Gone, 23 damage on Destroy, 50 damage on This Will Hurt, especially parry that, because that's the fuck-ass explosion attack, 30 damage on Roundhouse Kick, Overhead Chop, and Ground Slam, which I believe are second phase one specifically. After all, he does have 200 health. Now, avoid getting juggled, parry on yellow flashes, keep him in your sights. He stops between moves and recovers moves from getting parried. Still important to not receive the ultimate ass blast from his explosion. Don't haul ass away from him unless slide rail slash charge slab slash rail charge slab coining. Point loss goes from 115 to 250 per hit. If he says, "Nice try," diddle him and punch him in the balls like Big Hikita intended. Phase 2 transition is "Yes, that's it," which overrides all attack voice lines, so pay attention. And that's it. The requirements, obviously, are less than 10 minutes and 20 seconds. I believe it's 63. Of course, you have to kill everything, and you're forced to kill everything anyways, so yeah. And, of course, I believe it was 36,000 points that you need. It's rough. It's actually pretty rough. But anyways, have a good day, and I hope that the rest of this video actually is good. Thank you. If you've listened this way. Enjoy!
to hold me. A visitor. Indeed, I have slept. The kingdom of heaven has long since forgotten my name, and I am eager to make them remember. However, the blood of Minos stains your name, and I must admit, I'm curious about your skills, weapon, you can't escape. Yes, that's it. Destroy. Nice try. You can't. So concludes the life and times of King Sisyphus. A fitting end to an existence defined by futile struggle. Doomed from the very start. And I don't